Light Rising. Davi Jenda here with Ren and Rian from at We Light Beings or at figure.8.energy. And today we are going to talk about dream interpretation, and we're doing it first thing in the rising because when you have a dream, that is when you want to start to process it. You want to do it right when you wake up. You want to write it down, you want to think about it, or you want to look it up. Just do something with it so that you don't lose the valuable information and then it's stored somewhere else.
Hi, Mama.
Hi. Some folks,
Mommy!
have differing opinions about dreams.
Blueberry, apple.
Yeah, blueberry and apple. Some folks think that it is just, you know, your imagination, like TV for your mind while you're sleeping, and other folks see that it's symbolism and that it's a tool to tell you what's going on in your body, in your mind, what things you need processing, and that could also act as a premonition. Either way, I find truth in both. Yes, it is your imagination, but guess what? Your imagination is built upon things that your subconscious has picked up and it's processing, formulating, and putting together, so thus it can tell you what's going on in your mind.
What's happening,
and
Mama?
in your nervous system.
What's happening? I smell
Mm.
I smell this one.
And I was talking to someone a little bit ago, and they were speaking about their dream, and I was like, oh, well, did you interpret it? Do you know what it means? And that's when they were like, oh, it's just your imagination. It doesn't mean anything. And then they try to do a counter argument of like, who makes up this stuff anyways? Who gets the right to say what something means? And it's just like, brah, these things are based off of other cultures who have these things written down, who have found the truth in the meanings. A lot of like spiritualism is based off of dream interpretation, like the Native Americans, other indigenous from other countries. Like it goes on. And so I wanted to share about the dream that I had this rising. So I woke up at 3, like as per usual, and I drank some watermelon juice because I was thirsty. And so overnight, I am dreaming about having to use the restroom, right? My subconscious knows that I had drank watermelon juice. So I was rationalizing the compulsion to have to pee. So I went to this place, and it was like underneath a bridge, and there was some woods, and I thought it would be a discreet place. So I squat down to go pee, and I just had Ran with me. He was like in his little toy truck, and I start to pee, and somebody comes out of the woods. They had just got done with like a marathon, and I'm thinking like, this is in the middle of the night. It's like 3 a.m. and there's people coming out of the woods right now. Oh, it's just one person. I see her. I like stop my trickle. And then I was like, whatever. I keep going. And then 3 more people come out of the woods. And then so many more. And I was just like, you know, whatever. I'm just going to continue peeing. And by this time, about 20 people had come out of the woods. They're all having their conversations about that was the longest marathon that they've ever had. And, you know, whatever conversations you have after doing a crazy endurance thing like that. And I'm just like peeing, watching all these people go by, just being like, yep. You know what, I gotta go. I have to go, and this is a natural bodily function, so whatever, right? If these people get shocked about it, I can just start talking to them about this is nature. You guys pee too. Let's not pretend like we don't pee. And so afterwards, they're having like this huge celebration for everybody who went through the marathon, and then I have to pee again. And at this time, now there's so many people around, so I'm just like, I'm not gonna pop a squat right here. But also, like, if I go this way, Rand's gonna come with me. So I left Rand with some folks, and I went to go find another discreet place to go pee. And then I peed. And when I came back, there's this woman, she's like one of the lead organizers. She starts to tell me a story because she's having some concern that I left Rian with some people while I went to go pee. And, you know, my mind's just like, I drink a lot of juice. Of course I'm going to have to pee, you know. And she's telling me about one of the lead organizers, how he's like, it doesn't really matter what she was saying about him. And then she's like, and he has some LSD if you would like. And I was just thinking, what? I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? And I was like, okay, sure, like, I could use some LSD, dream world. And then very matter-of-factly, she's like, okay, so like a little bit of Coke would solve your problems. And in my mind, I'm just like, what? And I'm like, no, actually, I don't want any LSD. I'm good. And I get Rihanna and I walk away and I'm just thinking like, I'm like a little bit offended, honestly, that she would just think that, one, I have issues that are like out in the open that I need help with, and I'm going to help it by going and doing some drugs, right? And it's like, no, that's not how I operate. And so when I woke up, I did the interpretation for myself of, well, I'm not afraid to pee in public. That's one thing. And also, like, I have enough confidence in myself where I really don't care about people's judgments. Like, I can take it into consideration to analyze why they might be judging me for a certain thing and then, like, kind of go from there. But I don't let it rule me. So that's what I was interpreting as. And the other aspect that I thought about was her approaching me like I need help because I did something that she didn't approve of, and her way of helping me is in a way that would not actually help, you know. And I have like strong feelings about Coke anyways, so I'm just like, it was offensive. And so I'm doing the interpretation for myself, and then typically I'll like either open up a book that I have or go on Google and search for dream interpretations. I didn't open the book, but I did do Google, and then I was like, you know what? Meta AI has been pretty helpful with me in some of my dream interpretations, so I'm gonna see what Meta has to say about it. And what Meta said was that I have a desire to break free from societal norms. Y'all know me. Absolutely, absolutely. I see the structure that's in place. I know why it was put in place. And I also see the areas of dysfunction. So I naturally don't conform to a lot of things. There are things that I do, but there's some that I'm just like, yeah, let's break the infrastructure and build anew. And then I also have a conflicting desire between freedom and conformity. It shows that with the LSD offer that there is a desire to escape, but with me declining it, my rational mind is coming into play. And that's how a lot of things are, right? I can acknowledge the ease that it would be to escape into something else. And then I can also acknowledge, like, well, how far will this actually get me? Does this solve my problem? Because I do not want to be doing anything to just make myself feel better that will put me, that will actually hinder my growth. And it says seeking autonomy and also self-awareness and resilience in declining external influences. So like what I told y'all already, that like I honestly, I'm sure it's happened in my life, but for as long as I can remember, I've always been pretty good about not wanting peer pressure to force me into anything. And so it's led me to do some like pretty extreme things that they don't really affect anybody except for myself. Where I remember in high school, specifically not listening to bands, watching movies, listening, or just like indulging in a lot of... He's an Aquarius, so the humanitarian in him is just like, yeah, mama. Yeah, just not really doing a lot of the cultural things because I didn't want to be like everybody else. And it came from a wound of feeling like I was so different from everybody for like my entire life that nobody really understood me anyway. So I didn't want to get to a place where I understand what they're talking about, because also like what they're talking about is just things that they've seen, things that they've
Mommy.
taken in. Oh.
Mommy. I like this one, Mabel.
Okay, we'll get it. And a lot of the things that I would want to talk about were also things that I had taken in as far as like consuming information, but they're things that I have read or different conceptual things. I'm a lot of air, right? And so there's a lot of things and concepts that I think about, and those are the things that I would want to talk about from like a very young age, even going as far back as Santa Claus. Y'all, you want to hear my Santa Claus thing? Okay, Ryan, if you want some melon juice, we have to be calm. You gotta hold it with both hands. Alright, you ready to come back up here? You ready to come back up here? Yeah? And,
This one.
no, over here.
Your book.
Yeah, over here. Yeah, that's great.
Some please.
So, Santa Claus. I believed in Santa Claus. I believed what was told to me. Excuse me? We're being nice to baby brother, yeah? And my mom would have us write letters to Santa Claus, and I did not like Santa Claus. I was very opinionated about him because I saw that he was using elves as slaves to build all of these toys for the other children, and I did not like that. I think there is this also some ancestral wounding in me, right? Like, I'm first generation in America. My dad came here as a refugee. He escaped a genocide. He was put into, like, he had to experience camps that would use him like a slave and separate him from his family, and just everything that happened in that whole culture thing. So this is instilled in me at a young age, just like not information that was given to me, but like I had already had the codes in me. So I felt very strongly about Santa Claus. Like, I was not okay with him. And I found my mom kept some of our drawings and letters to Santa Claus in a file. And one day I was going through the files and I found my letter to Santa Claus. I remember being so upset that I had to write him a letter because I did not want to. So I drew a picture. I was very I was just artistic in a lot of ways as a child. And I drew a picture of Santa Claus on a sleigh with a whip in his hand, because, you know, sometimes...
It's monsters.
Those are crabs, Jan.
It's a monsters.
Because they're big. They look like monsters.
Big
Okay.
monsters.
Because, you know, that's also what's portrayed is, like, there's a whip for the reindeer. And it's normalized. And anyways, instead of reindeers, all of the elves were chained up to the sleigh. That was my way of portraying
Stop right here.
him as
Mr. Grabs.
like a slave master, you know? And yeah, so very opinionated from a very, very young age. So I've had that resilience from letting external influences dictate how I be, you know? And so that's just like a little bit on dream interpretation. It's a really great tool to show you how to monitor what aspects of yourself need healing, or just to learn a little bit about yourself. This you know, it's very much in alignment where my mind's at. You know, I say that I weave in and out because there are aspects of society that I do like, I do engage with, and then there's other aspects that I do not agree with.
Big mama, big baby, big mama, beep beep,
Beep beep,
big beep
beep
beep,
beep,
big beep beep.
beep beep. And beep beep means stop, halt, right there. Right? It's like this big warning signs. Okay,
Open.
that doesn't open. We're going to be calm. I think you're startling your brother a little bit because he's like, whoa, why is there all of this noise right beside us? All right, you gonna read him a book?
Where your mama?
Yeah. Okay, I think we're moving on to the next thing. So that's just my thing for y'all, okay? Interpret your dreams. They mean something, and if you start to analyze them right when you wake up, that's when you'll get the message and learn a lot about yourself. All right, love y'all. Bye.